It's April 19th, and the Japanese Air Force are getting ready for a practice flight with the F-35s. The captain of this squadron was an experienced pilot, a pilot that has 3,200 flight hours, but only 60 hours out of the 3,200 hours was with the F-35 jet. After the practice run, the pilot tells everybody to fly back. After this command, the plane and the captain himself disappeared. It is really weird that a plane like this, which you can call it one of the most advanced planes in the world, can disappear this easily. There were no issues with that day's weather as well. It was a sunny day with barely any clouds out. They tried their hardest to find the plane in the radar, but they couldn't. But let me open a parenthesis right now and talk about the F-35 itself. Japan themselves helped Lockheed Martin plus the US government in developing this plane, and that is why this country is allowed to buy this plane itself. They don't sell the F-35 to anybody. Even though the UAE made a deal with Israel and Israel was supposed to help them, they still weren't able to get one yet. Turkey was supposed to get them, but since they purchased the S-400 off of Russia, the US denied their request. Even though Germany is allies with the US, they are not allowed to buy it as well. But let's go to the main subject. The Japanese pilot and an F-35 is lost, and 2019 is the year where the Japanese Air Force was just getting to know this plane. And that is why the pilot only had 60 hours experience with this jet. A tragedy had happened and it was really weird. The researchers said when the captain told the other pilots to fly back, he gets lost after that. They say the sensors were turned off or they stopped working. But the control room said before the radar turned off, it was heading downwards. As you know, there are a lot of planes that will face issues and it could cause a crash. But the F-35 is built different and doesn't crash just like that and killed the pilot itself as well. The pilot has a lot of ways to stay alive. Like for example, if the sensors turn off, they can access satellite and give their position so other people can find them. Or he could talk to the control room with the walkie-talkie. The walkie was connected, but the pilot wasn't speaking or answering. And in the end, if none of these work out, the pilot always has access to the eject, where you basically pull the lever and the pilot plus its seats gets flown out of the jet and flies down with a parachute. But not only did he not use any of this, the plane and himself are not found. They say it dove down to the water, and if its jet stopped working, it had a speed of 1,100 kilometers an hour. The place that it crashed is north of Japan in the Pacific Ocean, where the waters are 1,500 meters deep. The US Navy plus the Japanese Navy and the Air Force all searched that area. Didn't find anything from this F-35. Not only did they search on top of the sea, but submarines were sent underwater around that area to find this thing. This search was more important for the United States because they were worried this F-35 is gonna get in the hands of Russia or China because they're looking for one and they could make copies of it. The US searched so much that after a month, a nose piece was found, and you could say they were relieved that it was crashed and the Russians and Chinese didn't find it. But now they believe that with the high speed, this thing crashed into the ocean. But the weird thing is, why did this pilot not do anything? He had all this safety equipment to stay alive. There's another idea that the oxygen tank stopped working and made the pilot pass out. But in that case, there's a lot of safety sensors as well, and it doesn't let you suffocate. Lockheed Martin always says that the oxygen system in our fighter jets are extremely important, and they're really made to not fail because it's extremely dangerous if they stop breathing. There's also another theory that drones from Russia or China were sent to send an electromagnetic wave to the plane, meaning a shock that everything stopped working on the plane. But believing that is hard as well, because in each case, the pilot has access to the lever for ejection, and that is manually operated, so it doesn't stop working with that wave, and it's one of the few things that is mechanically operated. Another thing is that if there was a drone in the air at that time, the 3 other flight members would have seen it in the air, in the radars as well. It couldn't have been a missile either, because there's so much safety equipment to prevent this, and if there's a missile sent, it will deflect it. And if there's any missile behind it, there's no way it will hit it that easily. And even if this system is turned on, the control room would know that there is an attack attempt on this plane. And obviously there was no report about that. All these theories were actually researched, but there are conspiracy theories as well. They say a UFO came and abducted the plane and the pilot. The aliens probably heard that the F-35 is really advanced and wanted to see what's up with it. But this is a conspiracy theory. The nose of the plane that was found is a conspiracy itself. Why is there no other pieces found? Just the nose piece? There could have been a secret thing as well, that something happened, but they don't want the world to know and really blow the cover on the F-35. As you guys know, the F-35 is really classified. You just get to see what it looks like. And the system and how it works is pretty classified. One of the things that is not classified is the price. $80 million. But it's not like if you have $80 million, you're gonna get one. And another cool thing, each hour this thing flies costs $33,000. So if 3 planes fly for 20 minutes in the air, it adds up to an hour, and that's just $33,000 like that. We said all the theories about this plane, but your guys' idea is more important. Please let us know.